just play a pop song, singing to that highway song. Got a little naive smile, the kind that drives you out. Nothing like playing with fire, brings boy to life. Beat you with a fuse you light, good, you're dynamite. You made my day when you walked into town beside me, whispered with your eyes, let's go. You made me say, what's your name, girl, you're lonely. Can I call you if I ever go down this road? And I can't seem to find the thing I want.
The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
14:20 in the morning, 14 minutes and 20 seconds worth of sports talk to get you through your daily commute. Hot takes, recaps, best bets, and a little humor to get your day going in the right direction. Sit back, grab your coffee, and let's get into it. All right, 14:20 in the morning for this 14th day of November 2023. Today's show, as always, is brought to you by SeatGeek.com and the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420pod over at SeatGeek.com today and save yourself $20 on your first purchase at SeatGeek. Remember, we are part of the Belly Up Media Network. Go to bellyupsports.com for all the great articles and other great podcasts as well over there at Belly Up. And it is Tuesday, so make sure you guys check out at 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Check your local listings for Craft Brewed Sport, a Tuesday night staple here at 1420 World Headquarters. They always have a lot of laughs over there, so it's good to see those boys up and at 'em again tonight. And thank you very much from all of us here at 1420 World Headquarters for supporting the show in every way possible by listening or checking out the website or whatever it is you're doing there on a daily basis, subscribing to our YouTube channel. Anyways, we had Aaron and Joey from the Brutally Honest Sports podcast on last night. We had a good time. Make sure you guys check that one out today. I'll get the video up a little bit later on today. But Joey and Aaron, we talked a lot about football. And then Dave and I stuck around for a last call at the 1420 Sports Bar last night and talked about the Edmonton Oilers coaching change, the mess they got there, and that whole thing, how it kind of starting to stink to high, having a little bit more. McDavid's got a few points last night. Then Draisaitl, I think he had 4 points last night, something they weren't doing for ex-coach Jay Woodcroft. But Chris Knobloch got his first win as a coach in the National Hockey League, so congratulations to him. But Dave and I, we weighed in on our thoughts. Of course, we had a couple in us at that point. A little last call action at the 1420 Sports Bar, so make sure you check that out. Dave was celebrating a little bit last night. It was his 19th wedding anniversary, and his Denver Broncos with the big upset over the Buffalo Bills last night. So we had a few laughs during the last call, and then we had a lot of laughs actually during the main show, 1420 Sports Bar last night, talking with Joey and Aaron from Brutally Honest Sports. Make sure you check out their podcast as well. They're very big into the Penn State Nittany Lions. Me and Dave, we kind of got him a little bit last night after their loss over the weekend to Michigan once again, which isn't a surprise to anybody, but that's one of those things. So here's me and Dave last night for last call, talking about the Edmonton Oilers mess that is the Edmonton Oilers. It's time for last call at the 1420 Sports Bar. We just got done recording with Joey House and Aaron Riley from the Brutally Honest Sports podcast. Thanks very much for those guys jumping on the show tonight. Great conversation. Talked some college football, talked some NFL football, and then got into movies and stuff. A great talk. But now, Dave, she's time for last call. We'll have one last drink and call her a night. I was interested when it all happened on Sunday, and we all knew it was going to happen. But Jay Woodcroft, the Oilers head coach, got fired on Sunday morning. It was in the works basically since Thursday night when the Oilers beat the San Jose Sharks and or lost San Jose Sharks, and then they beat the Seattle Kraken on Saturday. It was in the works and everything else, but who cares how it all worked out. Dave, you're an ex-Oilers guy, I'm an Oilers guy, whatever it is, which it's in our province, so we hear about it a lot. This thing stinks to high heaven for me, and it's not just because I don't think that Woodcroft should have got fired. I really don't, because he's been one of the higher winning percentages of any Oilers coach in the last 20 years. this thing stinks to high heaven for me. And I think for me, this was the owner of the Edmonton Oilers, Daryl Katz or Cates, whatever his name is, scared that his two big prized possessions were going to fuck off and stay fucked off if they didn't do something. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, that's exactly what is more surprising to you, Brent, that the new head coach is Connor McDavid's junior coach from 7 years ago, or are you more surprised that Paul Coffey is now an assistant coach? What's more surprising to you? That Coffey's an assistant, or that Connor McDavid's head coach from junior hockey, who has been on nobody's radar, is now the head coach?
I think it's an absolute embarrassment, David. I'm glad you brought that up because I actually think that Paul Coffey, who I thought he was a great player, and he was a great player. I'm not Brent speak here by any means, but I think the thing with Paul Coffey is that there's a reason why he played for 19 different teams. I know it's a large number. There's a reason why Paul Coffey played for 19 different teams in his career in National Hockey League. He's probably there was probably a situation in most dressing rooms that he played in. And then Paul Coffey's official title before yesterday was he was an advisor to Daryl Cates, which is the biggest jock sniffer in the history of the National Hockey League. And I think it's surprising to me that Coffey took the job because he signed up for something that wasn't to be on the road on a day in, day out basis with the Oilers. And I think that that's the most surprising thing to me. It's not a surprise to me because I lost a lot of respect in the last 48 hours. And he said different things today, and I could be completely wrong. I could be completely wrong. But Connor McDavid said today he was upset that Woodcroft got fired, and it was and he didn't see it coming. I'm calling bullshit because his ex agent is now the president of hockey operations for the Oilers. So there's a lot of people lying to each other in Oilerland. A lot.
Yes, and you know what? And at this point right now in Oilers Nation, Connor McDavid, fuck or walk. Like you're clearly calling the shots here right now.
Yeah.
Like this Chuck Knobloch guy who got the job with Paul Coffey being the
Chris, not the second baseman for the Yankees and the Twins, but yeah.
Sorry, not the air mailer for the
not the guy who would hit throw baseballs into above the stands, but yeah,
who had his best
with the Twins and not with the Yankees,
with the Twins sorry. So like Knobloch, I apologize about the name there, but Knobloch is his name, and he was Connor McDavid's coach in junior hockey. So I don't understand.
It's not a coincidence.
I don't understand how the Oiler brass is now saying we don't talk to the players about coaching hires. Get fucked.
You lied.
Fucked. The firings here has to be Ken Holland. Ken Holland constructed this team. I said it last year, and I said it again when we were talking about the Oilers' struggles. They got out goalied and they got out coached. And then so now Woodcroft is trying to tweak his coaching thing, and it's not working, right? Because he's not a savant. He just happened to be coaching the best two players in the world offensively. And now that they're struggling because the coach is trying to tweak it, and he still has shitty goaltending, and he still has no defense, and so he gets turfed.
See,
I don't see it.
I disagree with you that he changed his coaching philosophy because there's no way that Jay Woodcroft would make that decision on his own. There's no possible way. Yes, he may have came up to Oilers brass and go to the hockey operations, which is filled with the smartest guys in the history of hockey, with Ken Holland and with who's the guy from Hockey Canada, was there forever, and Gretzky's a part of that, and Coffey's part of that, and Kevin Lowe's still a part of that, and everything else. Like, there's no way that decision was made by itself by Jay Woodcroft. Yes, Woodcroft might have saw something because the National Hockey League is a copycat league, but there is no way that fucking decision was made by Woodcroft on his own to say, we're changing our defensive philosophy. There's no fucking way. There's no way. He hasn't been around long enough. And now, and they go and hire a Paul Coffey, who's an all-timer, 100%. But there's no way possible that fucking Jay Woodcroft, 2.5 years in the league, made a decision to change the philosophy of a hockey club, but on his own. There's no way.
I have no idea. But the results speak for themselves, right? Like, do you give it to a coach? So he came in, so he has a year and a half. He coached the entire year last year, and like I said, they got out coached and out goalied. I don't care if it's fucking Scotty Bowman, Bruce Boudreau, fucking Mike Babcock. If you give me a goalie with an .854 save percentage,
you're gonna lose.
You ain't winning fucking shit. And I don't know how you blame an .850 save percentage on a coach. Like, I just simply don't understand it, especially when it's been for fucking 20 goddamn years. You have no shutdown D, and you don't have a stud goalie. Like, that's it. Like, that is it. Everybody, how do you compare? Like, you got Malkin and Crosby, and they're able to win. Well, because they had fucking Fleury and they had Letang, right? And every team has a good D-man. Edmonton hasn't had a D-man that you can speak of in 15 fucking years. So who's the last stud D-man? Like Steve Stales, Eric Brewer.
Well, a guy by the name of Pryor was pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Like, I wrote an article for our website there at the 1420sportsbar.com about the Oilers' woes and everything else, and this on Friday before he was fired, and you go, okay, what's the problem in Oilerland? Well, they couldn't get a save. And they spent $5 million on Soupy Campbell. Has been terrible down the Myers here. The first game down the Myers is terrible. And he put in Skinner. He was fucking terrible. Okay, that's the problem. Well, let's get better defense. Well, let's do that. Fine. Then okay, what's the problem? Well, Connor McDavid is right now. Yeah, he got a point tonight, and of course the Oilers won tonight because that's what teams who fire their coaches do. They win a couple of games and they find themselves back in the whole thing. But McDavid had 2 goals until tonight. He got 1 tonight. So McDavid has 2 goals and Draisaitl has 15 points. Okay, last year they had this many points and this many goals at this point of the season. Then you look at a fucking guy, and I'm not a Nugent Hopkins lover, but I'm not a hater. He scored 100 points last year for the first time in his career. And they gave him $7 million again. He hasn't had a fucking thing in his career. He's been a 50, 60, 70 point guy in 10 years now. Then you go, you look at what the Oilers did, and then they went and they gave Darnell Nurse $10 million or $9.5 million, whatever it is. Darnell Nurse, it's not his fault. We just talked about with Aaron on the podcast before that Darnell Nurse is not a $9.5 million fucking defenseman. He's not. He's not a bad defenseman, but it's not 9.5 good. So a coach who's been trying his entire life with what Woodcroft has and Dave Manson has been, like, Manson was an NHLer for a long time, obviously, but you look at what Jay Woodcroft did. Took 2 years, 2 teams losing to the eventual Stanley Cup Finals or Stanley Cup champion. Sorry, this team got further than they should have with Woodcroft than they're going to get with this Knobloch guy. because Woodcroft actually did a lot of good with a team that fucking kind of overachieved. Because Nuge isn't that good. He's a serviceable fucking guy. Nurse is shitty. Their goaltenders are shitty. And now that we're kind of seeing what's going on with fucking McDavid, I think McDavid kind of turned. It's a bad look. I think he's a shitty person.
Well, I'm not going to put it
Not
all on
person,
McDavid.
not
Well,
person,
no,
but you know what I'm getting.
it's like and and this is the thing that should have happened. Why the fuck does Ken Holland still have a job? He's hired and fired 3 different fucking coaches. He's been running the draft for 4 fucking years. He's been doing everything. Ken Holland is the one running all the operations, right? So how does one GM get a run through 4 different fucking coaches? Ken Holland is the one that should be fired. Ken Holland. Like, how are you not firing Ken Holland? Why does Ken Holland get to fire fucking coaches every time? When Ken Holland is the one putting the team on the ice. When Ken Holland is the one signing Soupy Campbell to a $6 million contract. When Ken Holland is the one signing fucking Darnell Nurse to a $9 million.
$9.5 million.
Why? Why is Ken Holland still fucking cashing checks from Daryl Katz? This is what makes me so happy that I divorced the Oilers. Ken Holland is the one that needs to get fired. Ken Holland is the one that needs to get fired.
You know, I've been saying this for years. And I could be 100% wrong, but I don't mind talking. That's why I guess we have a podcast here. But I've always found that there's been a lot of hockey guys. I've been around the game of hockey for 40 fucking years, right? So these guys that we talk about, I've known them. Like I've been around it for a long time. I've known some coaches, I've known some GMs, I've known players who became GMs, and on it goes, like the Sutters and everything else. And you look at it, you look at what fuck goes on, and you go, well, you know what? I could have done that. Not me, not me, Brent. But you look at a lot of these coaches and GMs, you're like, well, if I was given fucking that fucking Little Caesars money that I was given in fucking Detroit to go out and fucking and buy a team and win Stanley Cups, simple. There were like Brett Hall, Luke Robitaille, who else? There's 3 or 4 more. Mike Modano that were calling fucking Detroit saying, "Can we come play here because I want to win a cup?" Yep, come on in.
And then finding Zetterberg and Lindstrom in like the 4th and 5th rounds.
And that's a crapshoot. That's not skill. That's a crapshoot. That's a fucking crapshoot. That's a crapshoot.
You know, you can say how good that is for scouting. And I don't give a fuck.
And then you look at fucking guys like Glenn Sather for years and years, when like back when we were both Oilers guys back in the 90s, early 90s, obviously, when the Oilers weren't winning cups, they were missing the playoffs every year. And Glenn Sather said, "You give me a chance to win Stanley Cup, and give me that kind of a payroll, I'll do it." Well, he didn't do it. He's still in New York. He's getting up there in age, so I don't want to besmirch Glenn Sather. But you look at these fucking GMs and you go, you know what? You're not that fucking good. Like, you're not. Like, you're not that smart. So why these guys get free reign? And the coaches are the ones to fucking, because the coach can't fire the GM. The GM can fire the coach because the GM hires their coach. And it's actually terrible that a guy like Jay Woodcroft, who was highly successful for a hockey team that didn't get a save this week, let alone this year, and that he's the one who's a sacrificial lamb for a fucking hockey team with a Connor McDavid, who you're giving $12.5 million to, who has 2 fucking goals. There are 300 players ahead of Connor McDavid in the scoring race right now for goals. There's 300 players who have more goals right now than Connor McDavid. And when you build your fucking team around a guy who has 3 goals that you're paying 12.5 to, that's not on the coach. That is on that superstar Connor McDavid, I personally think he's lying. I think he's lying to the media. I think he's lying a lot. That's the guy, because Chris Knobloch does not get hired as a head coach of the Edmonton Oilers if Connor McDavid didn't play for him in fucking Erie 9 years ago. There's no way.
I 100% agree. If the Oilers don't make noise in the playoffs, Connor McDavid is asking for a trade, and then trade him like fucking like yeah. I want your next 4 first-round picks. Like he's that fucking good because he has what after this year I think he has 2 years. Like
2.
trade it. Like trade it.
All right.
Like what's the fucking point? I get it. You're the best. You're the best. You're the most physically gifted player that's ever existed.
Never played the game.
And we're not doing shit with you. We're not doing shit with you. We got out coached and out goalie. Like let's find a goalie. Like I don't know what we have to do here in Edmonton land to make you successful here. But I will say this. We've had now 7 years of you, and we still haven't figured out how to get a fucking goalie. And we still haven't figured out how to get a fucking D-man. So Daryl Katz, I give you all 100% of the blame for why Oilers can't
100%.
fucking win. And then Daryl Katz and like hired like Bob Nicholson and hiring Ken Holland. Like go fuck yourself. These guys did it, and yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Bob Nicholson. Like so, who's literally in Hockey Canada and able to group of cocksuckers and fucking rapists and hiding it. No, it is. It is. And that's exactly what it is. Like we still haven't heard all the stories about what happened with this hockey team in London. Oh no, we're gonna have an investigation and we're gonna fucking figure it out and we're gonna let you know. We still don't fucking know what happened there. We still don't fucking know what happened in Chicago because that's coming up again. This fucking hockey stuff is pissing me off more and more and more with this old boy network who just wants to fucking just keep it amongst ourselves. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We'll handle it. Don't worry about it. We'll handle it. That's Daryl Katz and the fucking Oilers. Don't worry about it. We'll handle it. You haven't handled fucking shit in putting a fucking winner on the ice. And then, so why don't you guys just go all fuck yourself? And the fact that Paul Coffey is on the fucking bench, who was even, he wasn't even an original jock sniffer, right? McTavish and Lowe and Gretzky, those are the jock sniffers that Katz wanted. And like Lowe came in, Coffey came in on the back end, like, well, fuck. If Katz is handing out free fucking money, I'll come there too. And now he's on the fucking bench. I bet you Paul Coffey is making fucking more money than the head coach right now.
Probably.
Fuck Daryl Katz.
No, he's a problem. He's been a jockster for a long time, and this Oilers thing's a mess. And I'm not in the last 36 hours since the and I knew it was going to happen. I mean, I think the hockey world did. That they were going to fire Woodcroft, and it's an absolute shame. But in the last 36 hours, and so I did a little bit of a dive, not a deep dive, so I have to figure it out. But like his McDavid's agent, not his agent anymore, became this. I didn't know Jeff Jackson. I had no idea Jeff Jackson, who's now the CEO of hockey operations for the Oilers, was his agent. I didn't know that. And then when I heard that, because I remember Knobloch got the job. I remember him when he coached in Kootenay down the road here for the Ice. He won a West Hockey Championship.
He's a Saskatchewan guy, the coach.
Yeah,
Knobloch,
and then he was in Hartford and everything else. So I was like, well, why is that guy getting the job in Edmonton? It's like, oh, so I clicked. Oh yeah, McDavid was there. It's a bad look. It's a bad look for McJesus. It's a bad look on the Oilers. And they won tonight. They're going to get the new coach boost, which happens every time a coach gets fired. But they're going to win. They won tonight, and they're going to they'll win again on Wednesday when Seattle comes on, because Seattle's not very good at all, which is another story for another day. But then they're going to go to the West Coast or the East Coast. Sorry, and they got Tampa, then they got Florida, and then they got Carolina, and they're going to lose all 3 of those games. And I think the spotlight is actually going to be put a lot on McDavid more than it's ever been in his career, ever. Because at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, this team is shitty right now because Connor McDavid has been shitty. And that, yeah, you don't get saves, but you know what? They used to outscore. They used to outscore their problems. We talked about it earlier on with the football team. We're talking about with Aaron there. But at the end of the day, this team outscored their problems. And Connor McDavid scored tonight. He has 3 goals. $12.5 million. You better score more than 3 fucking goals, you little prick. And that's my opinion on Connor McDavid right now. It might change by Christmas. It might change by the playoffs. But you know what? Right now, McDavid, this is on you. This is on you, you little cocksucker. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not going to call him a little cocksucker. I'm not going to call him.
He's bigger than me. What's he care about? Yeah.
Well,
I'm down on the guy. I'm down on the guy a lot. And it's last call.
I'm down on him a ton too, right? Because there's just no fucking way you're going to tell me he didn't have any influence in it. Someone that was on no coaching radar to get the head coaching job of the Edmonton Oilers.
He said he didn't know what was happening. You're a fucking liar.
Agreed. 100% agreed. And 100% agreed. And so now, when we say it's time to fuck or walk, Connor, you better be fucking for 60 games here, because you know what? You only got 65 games left to make the playoffs, and you got to win 45 of those goddamn games. The Edmonton Oilers dug themselves such a motherfucking hole. And I don't know. Well, who knows? He got hurt, and I'm going to give him a little bit of credit here.
I'm not.
And I'm also going to say, you know what? And at 850, I don't care who the fuck you have in net. You can't outscore your opponent. And they might get their 45 wins in the last 65 games. They might do that. Then they might get in the playoffs. But you know what? You ain't winning 5-4 in the playoffs. There is zero chance you're winning 8-4 in the playoffs. There is no chance. Unless you fucking address the fucking D and the goalie situation in Edmonton, you're fucked. I don't care if Jesus Christ himself was playing on the left wing with Connor McDavid. There is no way you can outscore opponents in the playoffs. You need goalies. You need a goalie. And the Edmonton Oilers do not have a goalie. The Edmonton Oilers do not have a number 1 D-man. There is zero chance you're going to win the Stanley Cup without a top pairing D-man and a number 1 goalie.
I don't think Dave. What bothers me about this, a lot of it bothers me. You remember that 2006 team that went to the finals? It was such a great run. It was fun with Pronger and Fernando Pisani and Steos and on it goes, right? Like that was a fun run. Like it was.
The only reason they lost that playoff against Carolina was because of Ty Conklin. But
if Ty Conklin don't go in net and they go with
Oilers win that ring.
The Oilers win the Stanley Cup. They do. And the thing that bugs me about the whole thing is that it's fun when that team is good, because that city gets behind it.
Roger.
And I think you're going to see that if Connor McDavid, because of how because he's created this environment now. If he doesn't fucking put up and shut up, then he's going to have a lot of people throwing his jerseys on the ice in that city. Because they're like, you know what? You created this fucking messy little prick. Because I believe that. Like, I 100% believe that, especially with the way that the new coach, and he had Connor Brown getting called up, and on it goes, right? You're going to see that fucking McDavid is going to be the guy to be like villain number 1 if they don't do something. And he better fucking do it, or he'll fuck around and find out. I believe that. There will be people saying, you know what? Let him go. Fuck off. The guy, I should probably listen to, actually we'll talk off air a little bit about this, but Dustin Nielsen, who's Edmonton radio, he kind of voiced those things a little bit, that like this is on McDavid a little bit. This is on McDavid a lot of it.
No, you're completely right. And, he could have kept himself out of the fray the entire time, but the simple fact that it's his junior hockey coach that is coming out of the fucking New York Rangers.
The Rangers farm coach is now the head coach of the Edmonton Oilers for one reason only, because Connor McDavid asked for it. There's no other way.
No. Well, we have no other reason.
There's come on.
I don't know what happened, but I don't know what happened.
Call it, Dave. Call it.
I don't know that this coach was on any other coach's radar, but this is now on Connor. Like, Connor,
everything's here. You asked for this, and this. This is on you.
Fuck or walk. The rubber is hitting the road tomorrow. And you know what? Edmonton fan is gonna turn on you, Connor, and know that, and I don't know if he understands that, but if you don't fucking win with this guy, they're gonna say, get the fuck out of here, go to Vegas. We'll take out.
We'll call it the last call. The server's calling her good tonight. She wants us to get the fuck out of here. But 1420 last call. Make sure you tip your server. But the thing is, Dave, is that with a thing like McDavid has right now, yes, he's putting up huge numbers, and the Oilers have had a lot of number one draft picks overall. You go to the Nuge for one. You go to Nail Yakupov, and then you go to McDavid,
Taylor Hall,
and on it goes, right? And they haven't done a fucking thing.
Who's that Swede? PRV, or was that like there was a Swede in there too?
And like, so you have all these. So you have all these guys who went first overall, and if McDavid doesn't do anything this year, actually, before Christmas, he's gonna become just one of those guys. Really.
It's gonna be sad, right? You
put up great big numbers, and you're just one of those guys. And the pressure's there, I get it, but you're just one of those guys. Like you haven't really done fucking more than fucking stupid Nail Yakupov.
He's really. Kevin Durant. He's Kevin Durant before he goes to the Warriors, right? Like what else? He's Ray Bourque, or before the Avalanche. What's the comparable here? Like he's a great, but like he doesn't have a ring, and now you
cause a ruckus.
And now you're bringing in your fucking junior coach.
I'm so down on this guy because I honestly believe that he caused a ruckus.
Same. Like every time
it stinks to high hell to me.
I'm so happy I am divorced from this team because I can speak with them and not have any fucking heart. Like oh fuck, I wish that didn't happen. It was. Like, go fuck yourselves. This is the shit I've been asking you guys to do fucking something different 20 goddamn years ago when I divorced you guys, and you're doing the same shit, and now you're doing the same shit again with the greatest player in the world. Like, fuck off. And then also, too, doesn't this take so much, like, this must put such a smile on Flames fan, right? Because they're terrible. They're awful.
It takes the shine off of Calgary right now, right? Because Calgary's having some problems with their own guys asking for trades, everything else. So there's a bit of a shine off of the Calgary Flames right now. No, David. But
Flames fan just must be so happy. Like, we fucking suck.
Yeah.
But our expectations are low, and now the fact that the Oilers are as bad, like they're worse. They're behind us in the standings.
Yeah,
Flames fan, I'm glad for you to have this Schadenfreude.
We talked about this earlier, Dave, but we're Oilers guys. Like, much we say you're divorced and everything else, and what's got to happen for Oiler fan to forget about this first 5 weeks of the season or 4 weeks of the season, whatever. What's got to happen for Oilers fans to go, you know what? We're it's okay.
More than anything, you got to see that team save percentage go from 850 to 920.
That ain't happening.
Well, then that's it. That's the only way. That is the only way.
Skinner is allergic to vulcanized rubber. I think he got a shout tonight, but he's not very good. When he played, when I was at the Hurricanes game on Friday night here in Lethbridge, there was a few people I talked to, and some guys who know hockey a little bit. Some
and people, Skinner played in Lethbridge, right?
He played in Lethbridge here, and every one of them said, "I didn't think he was an NHL goalie." Every single one of them. And there's some pretty, and I don't want to toot my own horn here, but there was some heavy hitters in the hockey world that I was talking to. I was like, you know, yeah. He's big.
Talbot's pitching shutouts for LA now, right? Isn't he's the number
Skinner's
2,
big, but that's it. Pucks hit him, he don't stop him.
I'm not an NHL savant. I'm not a hockey savant, but all I know is like stop the easy ones.
Stop the easy ones. Stop all the easy ones. A few of the hard ones. You give yourself a chance.
Yeah,
right.
And they're not doing that in Edmonton right now. And then that's it. And I don't give a fuck. Well, it's the defensive. They're giving up high quality chances. I don't give a fuck. Do you think Dominic Hasek give a fuck? Did you see that?
Stop pucks, man.
The Czechoslovakia got a gold medal in the Olympics because of Dominic Hasek. Because he fucking threw everything. Like, I don't know.
I don't know if somebody stole it from me or if I stole it from somebody else, but I heard something on a podcast, and I hope it was because I think it's a Brent original, but I heard it and I laughed a little bit, and it was on a pretty heavy hitter podcast that I said, "You show me a good goalie, I'll show you a good coach."
Oh, I've heard that for years.
But that's 100% true. That's 100% true.
That's not a Brent original, but
the problem was I wasn't a good goalie, so I never had any good coaches, right? So one of those things. But
you're completely right. Give me a good goalie, I'll give you a good coach.
I'll show you a good coach, right?
Yeah.
Like everybody talks like we talked earlier on. We get because the server's telling us to get the fuck out of here at the last called the 1420 Sports Bar, but if you look at Scotty Bowman. How he's the greatest coach ever. You know, let's start with Ken Dryden. Really good. Dryden. Right. Then you go to Pittsburgh with Tom Barrasso, Hall of Fame tonight. Right. Tom Barrasso. Then you go to Detroit.
Well, he went to Buffalo as well.
And didn't win there.
Didn't win there. Yeah.
So kind of got fired. So then you go to Detroit, and he had Dominic Hasek, Hall of Fame. And then you go to Mike Vernon, Hall of Fame. So how good of a coach was Scotty Bowman? He had some pretty good. I just named 4 Hall of Fame goaltenders that Scotty Bowman was the coach for. So how good of a coach was Scotty Bowman, or was it goaltending? Because I listened to Jeff Merrick the other day, and he and I'm a goalie hugger 100%. But Jeff Merrick said hockey should be called goalieing. Without a goalie, you're fucked. He didn't say fucked on the air, but without a goaltender, you ain't winning anything. You're not.
Right. You know, like I'm not saying Aiden Hill is going to the Hall of Fame, but he was sufficient, right?
Enough.
Right. And
he stopped he stopped all the easy ones and a few hard ones.
He stopped all the easy ones, right? And then made 1 or 2 hard ones a game. And then that's it. And so you win a game 3-2. That's fine because he had a team good enough in front of him that was playing good enough in front of him defensively too, right? That you don't give up those high I don't know what they're fucking high danger attempts,
high percentage chances,
whatever, right? You know, and like when you're shitty like the Oilers are and they're fucking defensive zone, and everybody's worried about their points, like go. Like, honestly, like Edmonton Oilers, go fuck yourself. I am so happy we are divorced. Fuck, I'm so happy we're divorced. Could you imagine my angst if I was tied into that fucking team.
Yeah, you'd be a little wrapped up. Yeah.
I might have a goddamn heart attack.
Let's wrap this up. This everyone gets out of here at last call, the 1420 Sports Bar. Dave, do you or do you not want to see the Oilers succeed this season?
I want to see them miss the playoffs.
I do too, a little bit.
No, there's no doubt about it.
Actually.
I want them to miss the playoffs. Fuck Daryl Katz. I fucking hate Daryl Katz. I fucking hate that fucking jock sniffing motherfucker.
I talked about the 1420 in the morning today and yesterday the emergency little show there, not emergency, but one of those things. And you're like, you know what? I'm down on McDavid just because of the way it's all played out. And I'm sure his mom is now the head chef or the upstairs for the fucking Oilers now, because that's the way it's all turning out. It's all McDavid, his agent, his ex-coach, his teammates, la da 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 da. I'm down on McDavid unless he team with Summit Cup, I don't care. I don't care, but it's like, that's fun, right? But I'm down on that guy a little bit right now. Like I'm actually down on him a little bit right now. If they miss the playoffs, I'm like, you know what? Good.
I could give a fuck. Because I hate, you know what? I hate Daryl Katz. I absolutely fucking hate him.
Well, he ain't going nowhere.
And like, well, he owns the goddamn team, right? So he's not going anywhere. And you know, it might not be McDavid's fault, but you're not here. Like, what are you here for?
It actually is his fault. He has 2 goals, third tonight. It's his fault. It's actually his fault. The goalie don't stop pucks. Yes, 100%. But he's there to outscore their problems, and he didn't do it this year.
Well, he hasn't yet. We'll figure it out.
Draisaitl hasn't either.
Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, it's so is that a coaching problem then? Like, I don't know.
It's really not. It's really not
because
it's not on Jay Woodcroft. It's not.
Do other teams
Connor McDavid?
Like, so we can
Connor McDavid.
Yeah, I kind of think so as well. Like I don't want to hate on Connor. Like, I think he's a good kid. I think he's doing his best to try and win. I think he wants to win. I think there's nothing more than he wants than a Stanley Cup ring. But
under his circumstances,
yeah,
I'm down on that guy.
Yeah, if you're making the decisions, that's not how you get rings. Because no one ever asked Sidney Crosby who he wanted as next coach, right?
Crosby's played,
and he has 3 rings. Yeah,
3 more than Connor McDavid. Anyways, they know this good last call. Jesus Christ, you stay a little longer in the old bar, and it turns out some enlightening conversations.
Well, I won't say enlightening. We're just like talking real truth to real people.
This is last call at the 1420 Sports Bar. Make sure you tip your server, and you guys have a good night. Dave, what else you got?
Fuck Daryl Katz, man. Like, if you order guys like that guy, give your fucking head a shake. He is just a jock sniffer. And what the fuck is Paul Coffey going to do for us behind the bench?
He ain't going to solve any problems.
No, he's just cashing checks. Go, like, you're fucked, Edmonton Oilers fan. I'm sorry, guys. I want him to win too.
That was last call at the 1420 Sports Bar. Make sure you tip your server and have yourselves a pleasant good night. It's time for last call at the well, there it was. Last call at the 1420 Sports Bar. Dave and I got into her a little bit last night talking some Oilers hockey. Like I said, after we got done talking the guys from Brutally Honest Sports. So make sure you guys check out that show today as well. But yeah, it's a hot button topic here in Alberta right now with the way it's all panning out with McDavid. He's not making a bunch of friends. It's kind of like I said. It's I talked about it on Sunday and I talked about it yesterday. I talked about it today again. But so we'll get off the McDavid topic and get on to something else. But yeah, it's just one of those things. It's kind of crazy how you do a deep dive on some of this stuff and you kind of go, okay, something just doesn't look right. It looks like a duck and walks like a duck. She's usually a duck. So there it is. Anyways, here's a word from our sponsors over at SeatGeek.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception, first down, just a nice solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
There it is, our friends at over at SeatGeek. Use promo code 1420pod over at SeatGeek.com today and save yourself $20 on your first purchase over there at SeatGeek and help support the 1420 podcast. Thank you for all those who have used the promo code in the past, and tell your friends to use it as well. Anyways, let's get to birthdays and on this days and get everybody out of here as always. On this day in 1964, NHL and Detroit Red Wings legend Gordie Howe scored 20 seconds into the first period in the Red Wings 4-2 loss to the Montreal Canadiens. The goal was Howe's 627th of his career, which was then a National Hockey League record. He would finish the 1964-65 season with 29 goals, 47 assists for 76 points, and 104 penalty minutes, appearing in all 70 of the games the Red Wings played that season. In his NHL career, Howe would score 801 goals, 1,049 assists for 1,850 points and 1,685 penalty minutes. Howe is currently third all-time in goals scored, behind only Wayne Gretzky and Alex Ovechkin. Gordie Howe, one of the greatest of all time, and that's indisputable. Mr. Hockey, the whole bit, the Gordie Howe hat trick, Stanley Cup champion, and everything. Gordie Howe broke an NHL record on this day in 1964. And happy 50th birthday to retired NFL safety and four-time Pro Bowler Lawyer Milloy, born on this day in St. Louis, Missouri. Milloy played football and baseball at University of Washington and was drafted by the Detroit Tigers in the 19th round of the Major League Draft. But it's football where he really excelled. He was the first team All Pac-10 and was awarded the Jim Thorpe Award and a unanimous All-American for the Huskies in Washington there. And for his efforts, Milloy was drafted in the second round, 36 overall, by the New England Patriots. And by week 7 of his rookie season, was a starting strong safety. In his time with the Patriots, Milloy was a second-team All-Pro in 1998, a first-team All-Pro in 1999, a four-time Pro Bowler in 98, 99, 2001, and 2002, and won a Super Bowl in Super Bowl 36 with the Patriots in their 20-17 win over the St. Louis Rams. Milloy would play 7 seasons in the National with New England before moving on to play for Atlanta, Buffalo, and Seattle in his 15-year career. No doubt about it. Lawyer Milloy, one of the best ever played position, one of the all-time greats in for those New England teams and everything else. Lawyer Milloy, happy birthday, happy 50th birthday to Lawyer Milloy. That's it for 1420 in the morning for another day. Make sure you guys check it all out. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check out all the great videos we have up there. These birthday, if you just listen to the podcast form, these happy birthdays and date and on this day, they have a video attached to them. If you only listen to the podcast, so go over to YouTube and check it all out. Thanks everybody for listening to the show. Like I said, I'm doing an article today on the little Brian Cashman debacle that me and Jim and the fan of the van talked about on Saturday, but I'm doing something for the 1420sportsbar.com today, talking about the Brian Cashman situation, how it's just he's not doing himself any favors. And he made a statement about Giancarlo Stanton, something we all know, but something maybe that the Yankees general manager shouldn't be making those statements. That's it for a 1420 in the morning for another day. We'll be back tomorrow with another rousing edition. Not sure what we're going to talk about yet, but I'm sure something on the next 22 hours will come up and we'll get something going. So there it is. Have yourself a great day, and we will talk to you tomorrow. And make sure you always remember, it doesn't matter where you are, it's who you're with.
You just listened to the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. 4 beer with the sports talk and a whole lot more. We are part of the Belly Up Media Network. Let's get into it.